Giving out 10 volunteer recognition awards from last season. That's the 10 regions that we have in Manitoba. So there's a selection from each one of those regions, and then we have the Frank McKinnon Award for the Volunteer Appreciation Award there. So I'm going to pass things over to Scott, just in the back there, and he's going to lead us from here.
First up from Brandon Region, from Hockey Brandon, we have Lori Clark. Lori, along with her husband Aaron, have one son, 13-year-old Braden. Lori believes in making hockey fun and safe for all ages in Hockey Brandon. Outside of her full-time job at Diagnostic Services Manitoba, Lori's list of volunteering is ongoing. She's played an integral role as Secretary-Treasurer for the Hockey Brandon Board of Directors for the last 4 years, and both Secretary-Treasurer and Rink Supervisor for the Tournament of Champions. She's participated in multiple roles on the bench as team manager and trainer for Hockey Brandon. Lori would like to thank her family, John Guthrie, the Hockey Brandon office, Bob Lawrence, and the Hockey Brandon Board of Directors for her nomination. A special congratulations to Lori Clark. Next up, John Ferg, Central Plains Region. John has been a longtime resident of Portage La Prairie. He and his wife Melanie have 3 children, Tiffany, Megan, and Brandon. Hockey is always and continues to be a tradition in their family. John has immersed himself in volunteering in many capacities over the years. No stranger to Hockey Manitoba development programs, John has been actively involved in the Female Pee Wee Prospects program, the Pee Wee Rising Stars program, Directors Cup program, and both the Female U16 and U18 program of excellence, as well as coaching female bantam and midget AAA teams. When he isn't on the ice, John busies himself at the board table. He is past board member and president of the Big 4 Over 30 Hockey League and past board member and president for Portage Minor Hockey Association. Since 2014, John has been the director of the Central Plains Regional Minor Hockey Association and most recently has been appointed to the board of directors at Sport Manitoba. Congratulations to our good friend John Ferg. From the Eastman region, Vicky Clayton. Vicky has been part of Steinbach Minor Hockey Association for 5 years, holding positions of secretary, administrator, ice convener, and most currently tournament coordinator. She has run successful tournaments at all age levels, providing fundraising assistance for player registration. Vicky is responsible for hosting all provincial tournaments held in Steinbach and is the chair for Steinbach Miller Days, which is a yearly festival held by Steinbach Minor for all teams to celebrate hockey. Most recently, Vicky was an integral part of the TELUS Cup West Regional Tournament, where she took on the role of volunteer coordination and was a part of the hospitality teams. Congratulations, Vicky. From Interlake, Brad Emberley. Brad hails from Stony Mountain and was a member of the Stony Mountain Minor Hockey Board for a number of years. Brad's also currently the Secretary-Treasurer for Interlake Minor Hockey. Brad and his wife Jane have 2 children, Cole and Haley. Brad has always made time for coaching and being involved with his children's teams. He has been a volunteer coach for the last 9 years, coaching local hockey teams as well as helping coach in the Interlake Rising Stars program for 3 years. Brad's passion for the game of hockey is evident by helping organize Interlake Minor Hockey's development days, Rising Stars, and Directors Cup over the last 4 years. Brad also runs the Interlake Minor Hockey website. Brad is a very worthy recipient of this award. Interlake Minor Hockey would like to thank Brad and his family for all they do to support hockey in the Interlake. Congratulations, Brad. From Norman Region, Dave Colgan. Dave has been a permanent fixture with the PAW Minor Hockey Association since 2012. He has held roles of coach coordinator, hockey development coordinator, vice president, president, and past president. He is currently the player advocate for the 17-18 season. He also has been involved in the CCM Rising Stars program as assistant coach and manager. Dave would like to thank the PAW Minor Hockey, the Norman Region, and Ron LaRocque for his guidance throughout the years. Special thanks to his family, Connor, for playing the game, Cooper for enduring long road trips, and his wife, who keeps him organized, of course. Congratulations, Dave. Now we have another Dave, Dave Sigvaldason from the Parkland region. Dave has been the head coach of the initiation and novice age groups for the past 6 years. Dave not only volunteers his time coaching hockey, he's also coached with St. Rose Minor Ball for the past 6 years. He also runs an 18U Tier Club 2 volleyball program out of St. Rose for the past 3 years. Recently, Dave also spent 4 years on the Manitoba High School Athletics Association board. Dave's background is in education. He has been an educator for the past 21 years, teaching the phys ed program along with middle years English, social studies, and more. Dave would like to thank his family for their support and all the people he has coached with, and especially thank the players on his teams. Congratulations, Dave. Next up from Pembina Valley, Jim Mutchison. Jim started coaching in 1978 with Morden Minor Hockey and continues today, 39 years later. Soon after he started coaching, he certified as an official and began mentoring young officials and maintained both roles for several years. Certifying as an official for 20 years, Jim also was the referee-in-chief for Morden Minor from 82 to 84 and again in 93 to 99. Jim's commitment to hockey didn't end there. Over the years, Jim has held the role of president for Morden Minor Hockey, convener, vice director, director, and past director for Pembina Valley Minor Hockey, chairman for the World Junior Games in 99, part of the World Women's Championship in 2007, sport chair for the 2014 Manitoba Winter Games, and executive host committee member for the recent 2017 SO Cup. Fantastic. Congratulations, Jim. Our next up is from Winnipeg, and Jamie grew up playing his minor hockey in the Central Plains region in the Portage Prairie area. His involvement as a coach began early as he started helping his younger brother's teams when he was only 19. As do many of us, Jamie became actively involved as a coach when his children became involved in hockey. Jamie has been volunteering and administering hockey in the Seven Oaks Minor Hockey Association for the past 8 years, currently sitting as president. Jamie was nominated and recognized by members of Hockey Winnipeg. Congratulations, Jamie. Next up, from Westman South, Rick Corman. Rick's involvement in hockey first began actually in the Thompson minor hockey system, where he learned the enjoyment from some great coaches. Rick started his coaching career at the IP level while continuing to play midget AAA. For the last 22 years, Rick has coached, managed, and instructed at various levels with the local high schools and Killarney minor hockey. From 2010 to 2017, Rick established, organized, and instructed a breakfast program, securing money each year to off the program fee to participants. A member of the Killarney Minor Hockey Executive from 2011 to 2015, Rick participated in numerous fundraising activities. Most recently, Rick was the manager of the 2017 Southwest Directors Cup programs. Congratulations, Rick. And our final volunteer recognition recipient from Yellowhead is Dean Lindenbach. Dean has been involved in coaching minor hockey for 12 years on multiple male and female teams in Birtle and Hamiota. Volunteering primarily in the female program, Dean was the assistant coach for the Yellowhead Bantam AAA team, president of the Rural Female Hockey League, and Yellowhead Female Council representative for Hockey Manitoba. Dean was also the vice president and president for Birtle Minor Hockey. Dean would like to thank the Yellowhead region and all the coaches that he's coached with and the players he has coached over the years. Congratulations, Dean. It appears Dean may not be in attendance, so we'll be sure to make sure we get that to the Yellowhead representative so he can get that award accordingly. And now I'll turn it over to our president, Mr. Bill Whitehead, for a special announcement on our Frank McKinnon Outstanding Volunteer Award.
Hi, everyone. It gives me great pleasure to hand out the Frank McKinnon Award again this year. Frank McKinnon was a true friend of mine. He was the principal at my high school. He was a true leader in Manitoba. He was the president of Hockey Manitoba, president of Hockey Canada, and we named this award our yearly Volunteer of the Year award after Frank. And I don't know of anyone else in the province that that has done as much for the game of hockey as Frank. This year's award winner is going to Dale Fosse. Dale is from Starbuck, Manitoba, and he's been a part of the game in Manitoba for close to 30 years. He began as a volunteer with his local minor hockey association in McDonald and progressed to volunteer with the Pembina Valley region and eventually Hockey Manitoba. During his time as a volunteer, Dale has had many highlights, including the involvement with the 1999 World Juniors, the 2007 World Women Championships, and the 100th anniversary of Hockey Manitoba. He's a direct influence with the adoption of the Hockey Manitoba new governance structure that we're living under right now. Dale first joined the Hockey Manitoba Board of Directors as chair of minor in 2001. And in 2005, he was elected as the chair of finance, a position that he held for 6 years. In 2012, Dale became Hockey Manitoba's vice president, where his focus was on player, coach, and officials development. He took an active role and worked closely with staff and volunteers alike to ensure opportunities continued to grow for members through branch development programs. Dale's forward thinking and support of positive change have been instrumental in our branch and our board. In his personal life, Dale is a farmer and continues to serve his community as the Reeve of Cartier, as well as a local school bus driver. Dale and his wife Carol have 4 children, and 4 beautiful grandchildren who they are actively engaged with on a regular basis. Perhaps even more remarkable than his volunteer time dedicated to the development of the game is his character, integrity, and humility. Dale has earned the respect of his peers and colleagues and has always valued good discussion and debate to understand all points of view in an effort to move our great game forward. He has contributed at all levels and is willing to support and assist the branch in any capacity. It is difficult to truly measure the positive impact Dale has had on the game, and he is the most deserving recipient this year of the Frank McKinnon Outstanding Volunteer Award. Dale, can you come forward, please?
Come on, you can come up. That's why we're here. We're here for the kids. That's my grandson, Riker, who's one of 2 grandchildren here today. Also have little Ella over here, who's 5 months old. My wife, Carol, my daughter, Allison, and my mother-in-law, Doreen. So first of all, I'd like to thank the Hockey Manitoba Board of Directors for putting my name forward to receive the Frank McKinnon Award. I'm truly humbled and honored to receive such recognition, and I thank them very much. So a few days ago, Peter called, of course he's always calling at the last minute, and asked for a few highlights that I was involved with over the years, and Bill mentioned a few of them, our 100-year anniversary events and the restructure of our governance. One of the things I didn't tell Peter was the highlight was, for myself, was working closely with the Hockey Manitoba staff over the years. I've met many hockey staff people from across Canada. There's no doubt that Hockey Manitoba has some of the finest in the country for sure. So thanks, guys. Really appreciate all the interaction. Scott, Bernie, Bonnie, all the rest. Thank you. Past members of our board who were very supportive and gave encouragement along the way: Jack Forsyth, Ralph Borger, Frank McKinnon, and late Diane Woods. And of course, we've lost all these people, but they made a big impression upon myself and a big impact on Hockey Manitoba. So for my wife and myself, our hockey journey began in about 1988, enrolling our children in the local hockey program, and it certainly was a life-changing event, because you don't just enroll your kids in hockey, you're all in with your family. And so when you folks, some of you are registrars here today, and you've probably done your registration, and you're short a few kids to make a team if you're from a rural area, so you call up someone you know and say, hey, how about coming up for the hockey team? It doesn't cost much, doesn't take much time, and that's kind of a bit of a lie. So back around 1988, I came home one day and I told Carol I'd been asked to help out in the local town there. And all she said to me, that's quite fine, you're getting your own phone line. Sound familiar, lots of you? So I just like, if I could take a few moments, just want to touch on 3 things that I kind of learned over the years. And 2 of them refer directly to our Hockey Manitoba handbook, and really things I believed in, and more and more so as time went by. So number 1 thing I picked out, the best thing of our handbook is the local registration rules, where everyone registers in their home community or in your local community club. There's always the idea that grass is greener down the road, down the highway somewhere, but you know, in rural Manitoba today, in a small community club, you need every player and their parents to help out. The second one I'm going to touch on, I was involved in many over the years, is the right to appeal a decision that's been decided for you, against you. Over the years, I probably sat in on a couple hundred appeals of different kinds, discipline or registration or general disputes. And an appeal should be the last step of the process. It should always be every attempt to work it out ahead of time. But many times when people left the appeal process, myself and Ken and the other board members, we always made an effort to hear people out. And so many times when folks left, they said, thank you for hearing my concerns, hearing my story, because along the way till I got here, people weren't listening. So if you're in a position of authority in minor hockey or a region, make sure you listen to people carefully. We all know that there's a few out there who are trying to fool the system, but most people are very sincere. And so finally, to the folks today, if you're, again, from the local level, grassroots level, I think you have the toughest job many times of all, and that is to be the voice of the silent majority. When you go to some of the regional meetings and some of the association meetings, there's always someone maybe wanting to have more elite hockey or programs for the better players. And it's hard to speak up against that because they're your friends, they're your neighbors, but I think it's a hard job to do, but I'm sure you can do it, you're able to, and that's to be the voice of the silent majority. So with that, for my wife and myself, Carol, I'd like to thank Carol for being patient. Went to many hockey meetings over the year, very patient waiting at home, and she didn't mind if the meeting happened to be in Victoria or Kelowna or Kamloops. Anyway, as one hockey journey ends, that's for myself and my wife Carol, another one begins. So pretty soon, he's kind of shy, but actually never stops talking like his mother. So anyway, so our journey ends, his journey's beginning, so we'll certainly see you at the rink. I'm not sure where he's going to play yet because he's likely going to answer a transfer right away. And so thanks again very much. It's been both a pleasure and a privilege to be involved with all you folks. Thank you.